What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Taking a Risk with George. On today's episode, I'm waking up on a couch that's not mine in a house that's not mine. Starting my morning as I do most mornings with a cup of coffee. Only thing is, this one is extremely full. It's a coffee maker that's not mine. I wasn't sure how to operate it properly, and trying not to make a mess or burn myself. Also having to wash my clothes from last night because underpacked for sure. This was supposed to be a 2-day trip. It ended up being a 3-day trip, and I just didn't pack enough clothes. So luckily I do have a washer and dryer at my disposal. Right now I'm going to take a shower as soon as I have some clean clothes to put on after my shower. And then in just a little bit, I'll be heading to the airport to catch a flight back home, thank goodness. And while I'm there, we'll tour around the airport. Alright, fresh out of the shower, getting ready to go to the airport, and I realized that I put my toothbrush in the wrong bag, so it actually went with the honey and the kids back to the RV while I'm over here in South Carolina, missing a toothbrush and feeling kind of gritty, so I had to ask Moritz's aunt, who I'm staying with temporarily, for a toothbrush, and this is what I was provided, which is absolutely perfect. I love it. No spinner with this. This is just the toothbrush itself, so I'm going to use this to brush up, and then we'll be going to the airport, which will be a lot of excitement, I think. Here we go. First, you put a little toothpaste on your toothbrush and you make sure to scrub every single tooth individually. I like to give each tooth at least 5 seconds of some rub time. As you can see, I couldn't figure out how to hold this dang thing, so I had to put it into my hands like a Wolverine claw, but I did end up figuring it out. And after a little mouthwash, nice and fresh. Alright, just got dropped off at the airport. And I'm flying out of American, because I'm a patriot, got to show my support. So let's get in here, get checked in really early. I'm going to film around. It's going to be awesome. This is definitely one of the nicest airports I have ever seen. And I found out that was actually a crown that was outside. That was out in the, I filmed it earlier. It was blue. I didn't think of that at first, but I was notified later on that it was a crown. But this place is huge. Thousands of people going on. And I'm just walking through it, looking at all the wonderful stores and stuff like that. There's so much to see, so much to do here. I literally could have spent all day here. I wish I would have came sooner. I thought I could, but it didn't work out. But I got here when I was supposed to. Check this out. A candy store inside the airport. And this place looks like Willy Wonka's. Too sweet and too cool. Dylan's Candy Bar. I love it. Check it out. I wanted to get a cheap meal, so I went with Burger King, and of course, somehow this still ended up costing me about $20 for a Whopper sandwich. Disgusting. I love flying, and I'm so happy that I got a window seat. I'm going to be able to film outside. I just think it's so cool seeing the Earth from 33,000 feet or wherever you fly at. But this is cool. I love seeing the inner workings of an airport. Checking out all the different flights that take off and all the different people that make this possible. Nice. My favorite part, we're finally taking off. We're backing up and getting in line on the runway. We'll be there momentarily and we'll be up in the air, and I'll be that much closer to seeing my beautiful family again. It's been a few days. I haven't seen them. I can't wait to hug and hold them. I love how they just have people walking around. Of course, she's escorting and showing the pilots where their borders are, where they shouldn't cross and where they shouldn't come to. And they do a wonderful job. All the stuff that just goes into making these machines, these beasts of machines, take off and delivering us all across the world. Just such an amazing invention. Like, I think about stuff like this. It blows my mind all the time that other humans came up with this stuff. And it's just so wild how we're able to live in such a life of luxury and comfort and convenience in today's day and age. 100 years ago, it was not like this. And that blows my mind every single time I think about it. Here goes the little train of cars that have all the luggage in there. I never have luggage. I never do. I always have a little carry-on, which is a duffel bag, and I always have just enough clothes for a few days, which usually wherever I go there's going to be a washer dryer, so I always just wash whatever I need. And this is the part I don't like, where you have to wait. How long are we going to wait? I've been waiting for this flight all day. I want to get to my family. Let's go! Come on! They're moving. Why aren't we moving? Sir, you have all the airspace you need. Go. Take off. Let's fly. All right. I'll be a little bit more patient. Come on! I want to see my family. Let's go. I hope nobody's getting annoyed with me. There's a kid looking at me, but I don't think he's annoyed with me. He's more entertained that some clown is talking so much on a flight full of people and ignoring everybody's snickers and laughs and stares and points. Nobody's actually looking at me. It's kind of weird. Very strange. But that's why you always want to wear headphones when you're at the airport, because sometimes, every once in a while, there's a wannabe content creator sitting behind you or sitting near you, and it's best to just ignore them. They are real people, treat them as such, but just ignore them. They don't need you to point and look and stare and ask them questions. Technically working, guys. I'm working here, just like this pilot should be working. Come on!
One eternity later.
Finally, moving! Thank you! I only had to beg and plead and cry a little bit. Good Lord. That was quite extensive, but thank goodness this is one of my favorite parts about flying, the takeoff. I love the takeoff the most. Getting into the air and just going up and feeling that pressure pushing you back into the seat. It is extravagant in my mind. I love the rush. And this always reminds me of when me and the boys went skydiving for Camp Hales. That was just too much fun. I absolutely love it. If you'd like to see that video, make sure you look back somewhere years ago when I was a young man with a lot of courage and a lot of free time and less kids now that I think about it. I went skydiving. We pushed it to the limits that day, and I'll never forget Conky passing out. he'll refuse it to this day. It didn't happen in his mind, but we all saw it. And I saw it because I was the only one to land on my feet that day. I had Tim, the flight instructor, and that was so cool. And honestly, if they gave me a parachute, I'd jump out of this bad boy. Don't look at me like that. I would. Don't test me. I would. Alright, back to paying attention to what's going on here. Another one of my favorite parts is just seeing the city from this beautiful view. And Lord Almighty, do you see that sunset over that building? This is going to be a beautiful flight, and I seriously cannot wait to get in the air. I probably should mention the whole reason why I'm even in South Carolina. It's because I helped move the honeys. Oh wow, look at the sun still peeking over. Oh my goodness, if we were in the air, that would be an incredible view, but that still looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, back to what I was saying. One less squirrel thought out of the way, but I was helping them pack up and move from their North Carolina home to their Florida home, or sorry, opposite. I went help them from their Florida home to their North Carolina home. They love to bounce between the two, especially during the different seasons. North Carolina is absolutely beautiful. I had no clue. I always had a fear of North Carolina because of when I got pulled over driving to Myrtle Beach with my family. That was insane several years ago, and I ended up having a whole bad ordeal with all of that, and I never wanted to return to North Carolina, but it is a beautiful place, a beautiful state. I love North and South Carolina. Gorgeous, especially with all the different seasons. Gorgeous. But Florida in the wintertime is pristine and perfect, so they like to go to Florida during the wintertime, and then they travel back up to North Carolina for the other seasons, because why wouldn't you enjoy it? Because Florida can get a little too hot in the summertime, and even in the fall time it's still a little humid. A lot of humid, I should say. A lot of humans and a lot of humid in the fall, and it's just really, really hot. I visited Disney one time in August, and that was a huge mistake. I'll never do that again. If I ever am to go to Disney again, which I do plan on going with the kids, it'll definitely be in the wintertime, probably November, December, because I'd love to see all the Christmas and all the lights up. Anyways, back to the story I was saying. We helped them pack an entire house worth of stuff into a U-Haul, and then I was in charge of driving the U-Haul. Mama and Papa are both in their 90s, so they're not driving anymore. But luckily I did have Maritza's aunt with us, Aunt Annette. She is wonderful, such a lovely lady. Allowed me to stay with her throughout the night, which is what we did. We drove from, I think we started at 9 p.m. or something like that, which was way behind schedule. We were supposed to be on the road and moving around like noon, And there was just delay after delay after delay. And of course, Mama and Papa loved their home in Florida, so they were very reluctant. And they wanted to make sure that everything was good to go. They didn't want to leave without dotting every I and crossing every T. They just had to make sure they were ready to leave because they're not going to be back for a while. And packing up all of their stuff to move from Florida to North Carolina took several days. We got there on the last day, and wonderful enough, Mama, who is a Jehovah's Witness, the church actually sent several men to come and help pack everything up, and that made our lives so much easier. Such a blessing. God is always watching. That was such a blessing that he took care of us doing that, because they were freaking out. They didn't know how we were going to do it. And with my herniations, I was a little nervous to help them move all their larger furniture and stuff like that. So it was kind of a weight on my shoulders that when we pulled into Mama and Papa's, it was such a relief to see so many people helping. And it's just wonderful. What a lovely community. Absolutely. Thank you again to those men who came out and helped us. But we got everything packed up, and we finally got on the road. The honey's with the kids in Florida right now, and I'm over here on this wonderful flight just waiting for it to take off. The taxiing is just very taxing, quite honestly. But the drive, we drove all through the night. I had Papa with me, and Annette took Mama in their car because we needed the extra car with all the extra stuff we were taking. Plus they have pets that they were bringing along with them. We couldn't put them in the U-Haul. There's no room for all four of us. So that worked out for the better. And we got to stop several times, and it really didn't take us that long. I think we pulled into, it was supposed to be a 10-hour drive. We ended up pulling in to North Carolina, where their home is, right around their home, about 6 in the morning, which is pretty much on schedule. We only stopped maybe once or twice. Once to fill up for gas, and then right down the street there was a McDonald's or something that we stopped at and got a quick meal at like 3 in the morning, which worked out perfectly. But it was a wonderful drive. I got to talk to Papa and learn more about his history, which he's almost 90 years old, and he had a lot to tell me, which was wonderful. Me and him have never spent that much quality time. We've spent some time here and there talking about his properties, which both of them are absolutely beautiful, and both of them are on water, of course. And he's always talking to me about going out on his boat that he has, and I would love to do that one day. And it was a good trip overall. Very smooth, very easy. The U-Haul, it was awesome, topped out at 78 miles an hour. Don't ask me how I know that, but you could not push it past that. The thing has one of those governors on it or something, stoppers. I don't know. Somebody in the comment section below will let me know what they put on these cars to make them go a certain mile and then they stop. Such a weird thing that you can do. But here we are stopping again. What are you stopping for, Mr. Pilot and co-pilot? Can we please go? This has been a long experience, and I'd really just like to get home to my family, as well as all these other wonderful people on this flight. That kid has not stopped screaming. He hasn't, and he probably won't for a while. So let's get in the air for the sake of this child. How absolutely cool. Look at that star coming right at us. Maybe that's a meteor. Maybe that's a comet coming to put me out of my misery. I just want to get this thing in the air. What is that? It's getting closer. Maybe it's one of those drones. Is that one of those drones that everybody's been talking about in the news? Oh, that thing's coming in hot. Oh, look, it has wings. Oh, it's another plane. Of course it is. We're at an airport. Why wouldn't it be a plane? Oh, wow, that thing is coming in quick. I hope that's all we're waiting for, is that thing just to land so that we could take off. How cool is that? Man, I love flying. I was literally talking to the honey the other day that when we finally do decide to retire, and of course the kids are all grown and on their own, doing their own thing and having their own families, I have always wanted to be a pilot. That was something I dreamed of as a kid, and I had horrible vision as a kid, really bad. It was like 420 vision or something like that, 400 over 20. So there was no chance of that, but with LASIK, my eyesight is much better. It's better than 20/20, and maybe that is something that can be a realistic goal one day for me, is that I'll actually get my pilot's license, and me and the honey can just fly around and just do cool stuff like that. Or maybe I'll take people and fly them up 18,000 feet and then kick them out, and they can try and skydive their way down back to Earth and be safe and be cool. And man, we still are not moving. I'm gonna cause a ruckus.
Many tic-tacs later.
Still here. Several airplanes have landed in front of us. Here comes another one. Hopefully this is the last one, guys. I seriously cannot do this anymore. Please let this be the last one. Man, this is so cool though. I absolutely love watching everybody else land at this airport without us taking off. It has been such an amazing eye-opening experience, so cathartic. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? People reaching their destination while I'm just watching them with anticipation. And I haven't used the bathroom in over 2 months, and I'm feeling the constipation. But anyways, thank goodness we're finally going. Taxiing off. Ooh, this is going to be an amazing flight. I don't know if I should sleep. I'll probably weep just because I've been waiting for so long. And I really didn't get that much sleep because we got back to Aunt Annette's house around like 5 in the morning or something like that. And I think I woke up at 8 or 8:30, had my cup of coffee, finally got my shower around 10 or so. But here we go. I am so excited. I wish I could help that kid. I don't know what to do for screaming babies that aren't my own on flights. I'm the type that would walk around, but of course right now you can't hold them and walk around, so they'd be bouncing on my lap or something like that, or I'd be holding them. I'd show them the window. Oh, we're going faster. I love it. Going faster. Oh, you can already feel it. Already being pushed into my seat. Come on. Picking up speed. Picking up. We're going to have to go faster, Captain. If you want this thing to take off and get off the ground, you're going to have to go faster, Captain. A little bit faster. Oh, man. Look at those buildings. Maybe the buildings are moving. Are we moving, or is the buildings moving? No, I think it's us. I think it's us. I think it's us. Come on. Kick off the ground. Kick off. Flap them wings. Flap them. We're up. Oh, look at those jumbo jets. That was cool. I love that rush. Get us up. Get us up nice and safe. Look at the city skyline in the background. That is gorgeous. Take a look at all the little people down there. Hello, little people. It was wonderful visiting your city. Take me to your leader. Or actually, I'm going to go to somebody else's leader. Heading back to Florida. Getting out of this beautiful area. I love it. This is my favorite part again. The views. Look at all of that. Hopefully this video gets a lot of views. I doubt it. I've been talking for like 7 minutes straight on this flight that has taken several hours out of my day. But we'll get there. We'll get there one way or another. Hopefully it's a safe flight. Beautiful. Man, oh man, I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. Look at those little tiny houses down there. I don't think I can talk much longer, and I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of that kid screaming in the background. So cue music. Just landed in Orlando International Airport, and look at this beautiful tree they have set up. Absolutely wonderful. The flight was magnanimous, as you guys saw. Here we are shuttling over to the actual baggage claim so I can get out of here. Hopefully the honey's already here. You never know. The city is beautiful at night, and man, oh man, that sunset was gorgeous to watch on my flight from South Carolina to Florida. Love, love, love the views like that. Man, this place is beautiful, but I cannot wait to see my beautiful family here in just a moment. Or maybe they forgot about me and they'll never pick me up and I'll just have to wander around for the rest of my life. You never know with these things. Life is strange sometimes, but it is beautiful and it always works out. You just have to believe. Love, live, laugh, whatever they say, do those. This is ridiculous. Made it down. I'm over by Air Canada for some reason, but the honey went to the wrong area. There's 3 pickups around here. There's A, B, and C. I'm at the B one. We didn't communicate very well, but now I'm just waiting for her to show up. Thank goodness she didn't have to go back on the highway. That's what she was saying she might have had to do coming off the A, but This is nuts. People are everywhere. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. They're holding up traffic and trying to cut each other off and jumping on the lines. This loading zone right here is messing so many people up because they can't get around those cones. They have to cut into those other lanes to get around them. But hopefully she'll have me picked up in just a minute and I'll be reunited with the loves of my life and we'll get home. It's about an hour back to the RV park, which is crazy because we're in Orlando and this is Orlando. So that's how bad the traffic is around here. There she is right there. My queen. I think she sees me. Hopefully she sees me. Oh, thank goodness. All right, time to get in.
Sir, do you need a ride?
What? Anyone who asks if you need a ride should not be giving you a ride. You're not supposed to be giving me a ride?